In this episode of M squared, M cubed, or 2, we want to talk a little bit more about circle truths that will help you in the math as you work through the unit, and there'll be many of these short videos to help with the math. This first truth has to do with lines that are tangent, meeting at one point, is where they meet the circle. Line L meets the circle at point B. If a line is tangent to a circle, then it is always perpendicular to the radius drawn to the point of tangency. That's why we have the perpendicular symbol here. Likewise, if you're given the picture and all you saw was the perpendicular symbol, if a line is perpendicular to radius, then it is a tangent to the circle. That right angle math could come as important if you had something else drawn in that created a triangle. You could use Pythagorean theorem or special right triangle math or trigonometry. So always remember, you do have a right angle there. Moving down the page, let's talk about point A in this picture. It's external to the circle, and when you draw a tangent from it, like tangent AB and tangent AC, if two segments are tangent to a circle from the same external point, then the segments are congruent. So from A to B, where it touches circle P, and from A to C, where C, this tangent touches circle P, those segments are the exact same length. So let me highlight that in green. This and this are congruent. What that means is if you end up adding a segment that connects, a chord right there that connects B and C, let's see if we can get it where you can see it, you'd have a triangle and you'd have an isosceles triangle. That math could be very important for solving a problem. Moving down the page, we're going to look at the circle on the left, figure A. We have two chords drawn. The arc on either side is 63 degrees. That means if we added the central angles by coming like this and getting the theta degrees there and sketching in a radius here and getting the theta degrees there. Since the arc is 60 degrees, this angle will be 60 degrees. Since this arc is 63 degrees, this angle will be 63 degrees. Look up here at this truth. If two chords are congruent, these two segments, these chords are marked congruent, then their arcs are congruent. So this 63 degrees would have to be congruent to that 63 degrees. They wouldn't have to give you a measure. You would just know if the chords are marked congruent, then the arcs are congruent. Likewise, if the chords are congruent, if they told you the name of this arc and said it is the same degrees as this, then their chords are congruent. This picture comes in handy on one of the first worksheets we would do, or if we go to IXL, we'll be looking for IXL skills that would parallel truths about chords, central angles, and their arcs. Okay. Try and get that a little bit darker. Okay. Now let's come over to figure C. Figure C's information is right below it. So we'll skip to number 5 for a minute. Solving for missing quadrilateral angles. Okay. Trying to get that art in the picture. I don't know if that shows up to you or not. Let me move it. Okay. So in figure C, you know that all 4 angles on this kite-shaped quadrilateral have to add up to 360 degrees. You know that you have a 90-degree angle where this radius met this tangent and this radius met this tangent. So there's 180 of your 360. So what it means is x and y that are opposite each other will always be supplementary. That math may be helpful. All quadrilaterals add up to 360 degrees. So this is showing you 90 plus the other two angles. But the easiest thing to do is say those two are opposite each other. They're supplementary. 180 minus 1 gives you the other. Always true. And you have the same type of arrangement you can do here on the left, problem 4, with any kind of right triangle. This tangent in figure B touches a radius, therefore you have 90-degree angle there. That means angle E and angle F also have to add up to 90. It's called acute angles theorem of right triangle because all three angles always add up to 180. So here you can just add E and F to be 90, or you can add all three angles to be 180.